Have you ever wondered how submarines came to be? What was the need for us to go under the deep waters of the sea? What was it like before we had steel submarines navigating the ocean's floor? Welcome to the Notepad of History. Today's retelling of forgotten history, we're about to explore an account of a man who climbed inside a wooden machine, sealed himself beneath the dark waters of New York Harbor, and attempted to strike the most powerful navy in the world during the American Revolution. The year was 1776. The American colonies faced overwhelming odds. The British Royal Navy dominated the seas. Their ships controlled harbors, supply lines, and troop movements. New York had become a critical battleground, and British warships anchored in its waters, and they were nearly untouchable. For General George Washington, defeating the British Navy seemed impossible. So Americans turned to something different, something unconventional, something never truly attempted before at that time in war. The idea came from a man named David Bushnell. Bushnell was not a general or a soldier. He was a Yale-educated inventor fascinated by explosives and underwater mechanics. He believed that ships, the greatest strength of the British, could be attacked from below, where cannons could not reach, where defenses did not exist. It was a radical idea. To build a vessel that could travel underwater, carry explosives, and attach them to an enemy ship. At a time when submarines were more of a theory than actual reality, Washington described it as an effort of genius. Bushnell's invention was described as looking like an acorn or a turtle. They settled on turtle as the name, and it was unlike anything the world had ever seen at that time. The turtle was a small, just large enough for one man. Its shape resembled two shells joined together, giving it a rounded, almost organic form. It was built primarily of wood, reinforced with iron bands. The seams were sealed to keep water out. Inside, the operator sat upright in near darkness. There was no engines, no modern propulsion. Movement came from hand-powered cranks connected to propellers. One of the forward motion and one was for vertical movement. To dive, water was pumped into a ballast tank. To rise, the operator pumped it back out. Air inside the vessel was limited, roughly 30 minutes before it needed to surface. And perhaps more dangerously, the pilot had to control everything all at once: depth, the direction, speed, balance, and oxygen, all while navigating blindly underwater. In September 1776, Bushnell's invention was ready. The target was a British warship anchored in New York Harbor, commonly believed to be the HMS Eagle. The plan was simple in theory. The turtle would approach underwater, attach an explosive charge to the hull of the ship, set a timed fuse, and escape before detonation. The man chosen for this mission was Ezra Lee, a Continental Army sergeant. He would become the first submarine combat operator in American history. On the night of September 6, 1776, Lee entered the turtle, the hatch sealed above him. Darkness closed in. He began turning the hand cranks, slowly propelling himself beneath the surface of the harbor. Above him, British ships floated in silence. Below, cold black water surrounded him. There was no room for error, no rescue team waiting below the surface. If someone failed, if the vessel flooded, if he lost direction, he would simply disappear. Lee reached the target ship and began the most difficult part of the mission. He needed to drill a screw into the wooden hull of the vessel and attach the explosive charge. But something went wrong. Accounts differ slightly, but most agree on the core problem. Lee could not penetrate the hull. He may have struck a metal fitting, such as a rudder hinge or protective sheathing, or the angle may have been wrong. Inside the turtle, air was running low. Time was running out, and British soldiers above remained unaware for now. After repeated attempts, Lee realized the mission could not succeed or a success at all. He was running out of oxygen, his strength was fading. Staying longer meant certain death. So he made a decision. He released the explosive charge into the water, hoping to drift away, and began his escape. Moments later, the charge detonated under the cold, dark harbor waters. A violent explosion broke the surface of the water. British ships were thrown into confusion, but no ship had been destroyed. Lee surfaced at a distance and managed to return safely, tired but alive. He had failed to damage the ship, but he had done something extraordinary. He had carried out the first known submarine attack attempt in American history and remarkably survived it. The Turtle did not win the war. It didn't even sink a ship, but it was still a very useful accomplishment. That warfare could extend beneath the surface of the sea. That innovation could challenge even the greatest military power, and that individuals armed not just with weapons but with ideas can reshape the future of war conflict. Bushnell's design would influence future submarine development. After the war, Bushnell got acquainted with both Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. He later wrote a letter including all the construction details of the Turtle submarine to Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson eventually had it publicly available for all to read in the American Philosophical Society in Philadelphia. Decades later, more advanced underwater vessels had emerged, eventually leading to submarines that now operate across the world's oceans. Today, the Turtle is remembered not for its success, but for its audacity. A wooden vessel, powered by human strength and ingenuity, operating in darkness, attempting to strike the most powerful navy on Earth at that time. It was fragile, imperfect, and ahead of its time. But in that moment, beneath the waters of the New York harbor, it represented something much larger than itself. The belief that even against overwhelming odds, innovation could find a way. Until next time, see you in the next video.